Welcome, brave souls, to a realm where shadows whisper secrets too vile for the light. I'm here to unravel tales so chilling that your skin will crawl long after the silence falls. Help me reach my first 1,000 subscribers, hit that button now, and together, let's unearth the horrors awaiting us tonight. The Arizona sun beat down on the dusty trailer park where I, Mia, was staying for a week-long dance workshop. It was supposed to be a fun escape with my best friend Nora, but today, something felt off. After a long day of practice, I returned to our trailer alone to grab my phone charger. The heat was oppressive, and the quiet was unsettling. As I rummaged through my bag, I heard a faint cough from behind the fence that encircled the trailer park. My heart skipped a beat. I peered through the window, and there it was, a shadow, darting quickly out of sight. A chill ran down my spine despite the heat. Was it just my imagination playing tricks on me, or was someone really out there? I tried to shake off the paranoia, telling myself it was just the exhaustion from the day's practice. But as I stepped back outside, the feeling of being watched lingered, making the sunny trailer park feel strangely ominous. I locked the door behind me, wondering if I was overreacting or if there really was something or someone lurking just out of sight. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows as I pedaled my bike towards the dance tents to meet Nora. The earlier unease hadn't left me, and as I passed a pile of discarded chairs, I noticed a man hunched over them. His wide-brimmed hat covered most of his face, making it impossible to see his eyes. As I rode by, he slowly stood up and waved at me, a wave that felt too deliberate, too creepy. Annoyed and a bit spooked, I pedaled faster, eager to reach the safety of the practice field. During our dance session, I told Nora about the strange encounter. We both laughed it off, chalking it up to the weird characters you sometimes meet at these events. But our laughter died down when, during a break, we spotted the same man at the edge of the practice field, watching us. His presence felt like a dark cloud over our sunny day. The creepiness escalated when he suddenly disappeared behind a portable toilet. Night had fallen, and the trailer felt eerily quiet as I searched for my dancing shoes. They were nowhere to be found. Frustrated, I figured I must have dropped them outside during the day. I stepped out into the cool night air, my eyes scanning the ground near the trailer. Then I saw something glinting near a bush. My heart raced as I approached, only to find one of my slippers standing upright, as if placed there deliberately. Before I could process the strangeness of it, a flashlight beam suddenly blinded me. I shielded my eyes, and that's when I heard the same hoarse cough from earlier. Panic surged through me, and I bolted back inside. My heart pounded in my chest as I slammed the door shut. That's when I noticed a note stuffed under the trailer door. With trembling hands, I picked it up and read the chilling message. "You're moving too fast. I'll catch you slower." The words sent a shiver down my spine. Whoever this man was, he was getting closer, and the game he was playing was terrifyingly personal. The next morning, still shaken from the night before, I handed the creepy note to our dance instructor. She took it seriously and immediately contacted the camp staff. But without any solid evidence, they couldn't do much. Frustration gnawed at me as I tried to focus on our rehearsal. During a break, I spotted something under a bench, my other slipper, but this time it was cut in half. My stomach churned at the sight. It was a clear message, and it chilled me to the bone. I showed it to Nora, and her face paled. She then confessed that she, too, had felt someone following her recently. It wasn't just me. This man was targeting both of us. As we pieced things together, a terrifying realization hit us. He must know our schedule. He had access to the camp trailer, and was using that knowledge to get closer. The thought that he was watching our every move made me feel exposed and vulnerable. We needed to be more careful, but the fear of what he might do next hung over us like a dark cloud. It was 3 a.m., and the trailer was eerily silent when a creaking noise jolted me awake. I froze, my breath hitching, when I noticed movement near the tiny window above me. There, pressed against the glass, was a face dirty and grinning. His lips moved, whispering something I couldn't make out. Fear gripped me as he pressed his forehead against the window, his eyes locked on mine. Then, suddenly, a flashlight beam cut through the darkness, blinding me. I screamed, the sound piercing the night. Within moments, the door burst open, and our guide and Nora rushed in. The man was gone, vanished into the night, but outside we found footprints circling the trailer, leading toward the storage yard. The realization hit me hard. He had been right there, watching me sleep. The fear was overwhelming, but I knew we had to act fast. This couldn't go on any longer. The next morning, the authorities arrived with a thermal drone to search the abandoned equipment yard behind the trailer park. My mix of fear and hope as we watched the drone scan the area. It didn't take long before the drone picked up a heat signature under a collapsed bleacher. The police moved in quickly, and there he was, the man in the hat, caught hiding like a rat. They found a locked box with him, and inside were dozens of photos. Photos of me, Nora, and other campers. The sight of them made my stomach churn. He had been watching us, documenting our every move. The authorities arrested him on the spot, seizing the box as evidence. Relief washed over me, but it was tinged with a lingering unease. The nightmare was over, but the memory of his face at my window would haunt me for a long time. Weeks later, back at home, I tried to settle back into my routine. I returned to my local recording studio, hoping to lose myself in the music. But the hauntings lingered. Even though I knew my home was safe, there were nights when the fear crept back in. I'd lock my windows tight, but the memory of that face at the window haunted me, making me fear that he might show up again. One afternoon, a package arrived without a return label. My heart raced as I opened it, half expecting something sinister. Inside were new slippers, tied with a black ribbon. They were from an old friend, a thoughtful gesture meant to comfort me, but all I could see were the slippers from my horrible past, the ones that had been left for me as a twisted message. The fear was overwhelming, but I knew I couldn't let it control me forever. After a while, I sought help from a doctor, working through my phobia step by step. Slowly, I started to feel like myself again. I returned to dancing, but I couldn't shake the habit of always looking back, always checking my surroundings. The shadow behind the fence might be gone, but its memory lingered, a constant reminder to stay vigilant. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, I felt the soft sand of Diani Beach beneath my feet. It was the perfect end to a day spent laughing and playing with my cousins during our weekend getaway. The salty breeze carried the sound of our family's joy, making the moment feel timeless. As I walked alongside my cousin Lila, something caught my eye. There, half buried in the sand, lay an ancient silver coin. It was unlike any other coin I'd seen before. It seemed to glow with a mysterious light, drawing me in with its brilliance. Without thinking, I picked it up, feeling an inexplicable connection to it. Lila and I exchanged excited glances, our secret discovery bonding us even closer. We decided to keep the coin to ourselves, a small thrill in the midst of our family vacation. As we made our way back to our room, the coin felt heavy in my pocket, a silent promise of adventure. As dusk settled over our beach villa, I lay in my shared bedroom, the gentle sounds of the ocean lulling me to sleep. The coin, still heavy in my pocket, felt like a secret thrill, a little piece of adventure all to myself. But as I drifted off, something strange began to happen. Suddenly, I couldn't move. My body felt pinned to the bed, a heavy weight pressing down on me. Panic started to rise, but then I heard a whisper, so faint it could have been the wind. "Take me back," it said, the words barely audible but chillingly clear. My heart raced as I tried to make sense of it, and then I saw it. A cloaked figure, faceless and eerie, stood by the door. It didn't move, yet its presence was overwhelming. Its arm extended, pointing out to sea, as if urging me to return something I realized with a jolt was the coin. The figure's silent demand hung in the air, a haunting reminder that the coin was more than just a shiny trinket. As the paralysis slowly released its grip, I lay there, breathless and terrified, knowing that this was just the beginning of something much bigger than I could have ever imagined. The next morning, the vibrant chaos of the local market enveloped us as Lila and I wandered through the stalls. The air was thick with the scents of spices and the sound of stories being swapped. I had the coin tucked safely in my pocket, its weight a constant reminder of last night's terrifying encounter. As we strolled, an old fortune teller caught my eye. She was sitting at a small, cluttered table, her eyes piercing through the crowd. When she saw me, she beckoned me closer, her gaze fixed on my pocket. With a trembling hand, I showed her the coin. Her reaction was immediate and intense. She stared at it, her eyes wide with shock. "This is no ordinary coin," she whispered, her voice heavy with warning. "It's a token used in ancient burial rituals, meant to guide a troubled soul to the afterlife. By taking it, you've disrupted its path." Fear gripped me as her words sank in. The coin, which had seemed like such a harmless treasure, now felt like a curse. Lila, standing beside me, looked just as scared. We knew what we had to do. Without hesitation, we decided to return the coin. The thought of holding on to something that belonged to the dead, something that could unleash who knows what kind of trouble, was too much to bear. As we left the market, the weight of our decision settled over us. But so did a glimmer of hope that returning the coin might end this nightmare before it truly began. At noon, the beach was bathed in sunlight, the sea a serene blue, and the sky clear. Determined to rid myself of the cursed coin, I returned to the spot where I had found it. With Lila by my side, I took a deep breath and tried to throw the coin back into the sea. But as I attempted to release it, an invisible force gripped my hand, refusing to let go. Panic surged through me as I struggled against it. The sea, which had been so calm moments before, suddenly turned violent. Waves crashed against me, pushing me back as if rejecting the coin. The water rose higher and higher, the sky darkening ominously above us. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't return the coin to the sea. The force holding my hand was too strong, and the waves too relentless. Overwhelmed by fear and anxiety, Lila and I decided to retreat to our room, our hearts pounding with dread. That night, sleep brought no relief. I found myself trapped in a terrifying dream. I was drowning, the water closing in around me, and through the chaos, a voice echoed, shouting, "Return what was stolen." The urgency and anger in the voice sent shivers down my spine, leaving me to wake up gasping for air, more determined than ever to break free from this haunting curse. As dawn broke over the villa, the air felt strangely quiet, almost as if it was holding its breath. I woke up feeling more unsettled than ever. The night's haunting dream had left me rattled, and as I sat up, I noticed fresh scratches on my arms, marks I couldn't explain. My mind was racing, and I found myself talking to myself, trying to make sense of the chaos. Lila, who had been watching over me, looked worried. She pulled out her phone and started recording, capturing my out-of-control state. I was mumbling incoherently, my voice laced with fear and confusion. Lila knew we needed help. Without hesitation, she took the recordings and rushed to find a local priest. She explained everything, the coin, the nightmares, the scratches, and showed him the footage. The priest's expression grew grave as he watched, understanding the gravity of what was happening. As Lila returned to the villa, I felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe the priest could help me break free from this nightmare. But until then, the fear and instability continued to grip me, a constant reminder of the curse that had taken hold of my life. As the days went by, I started feeling a bit more stable, thanks to Lila's unwavering support. We met with the priest at a cliff near the beach, where a large solitary tree stood, known to locals as the Laughing Tree. It had always sounded like a warning, but now it echoed with a promise of survival. The three of us, me, Lila, and the priest, gathered under its branches. We talked about everything that had happened, and the priest listened intently. After a while, he suggested we search around the tree. Sure enough, we found a hidden burial place beneath its roots. With the coin still in my pocket, the priest guided me to use it as a key. We opened a small stone box buried there, and inside, we found a pendant with a name engraved on it, the name of the spirit tied to the coin. The priest explained that this pendant was the spirit's keepsake, and returning it might appease the troubled soul. He led us through a ritual, placing the pendant back into the stone box and using the coin to seal it shut. As soon as the ritual was completed, the air around us changed. A gentle breeze stirred, and the leaves of the Laughing Tree rustled softly, even though there was no wind. A sense of peace washed over me, and for the first time in days, I felt a weight lifting off my shoulders. The priest's words echoed in my mind, giving me hope that we had finally broken the curse. With Lila by my side, I knew we could face whatever came next, together. After finishing our mission at the Laughing Tree, Lila and I returned to our room at the villa. That night, as I lay down, a sense of peace enveloped me. For the first time in what felt like forever, I slept soundly, without nightmares or haunting whispers. The next morning, our vacation was over. Before we left, I felt a pull to visit the beach one last time. The sand felt warm under my feet, and the sea was calm, a stark contrast to the turmoil I had experienced just days before. Standing at the water's edge, I took a deep breath and whispered my thanks into the wind. I was grateful for the resolution, for Lila's support, and for the priest's guidance. As a final gesture, I took out a shell necklace I had made during our stay and buried it in the sand, a small gift to the spirits of this place. With a heart lighter than it had been in days, I turned away from the beach, ready to leave the haunting behind. The experience had changed me, but as I walked back to join my family, I knew I was stronger for it. The sun was shining bright, and the smell of barbecue filled the air. It was my 11th birthday, and I couldn't have been happier. My friends were running around, playing tag in our front yard. while my uncle kept a watchful eye on us. Laughter and joy surrounded me, making it the perfect day. But then, out of nowhere, a police car rolled up to our house. My heart skipped a beat as an officer stepped out and spoke to the adults. He warned them about a suspicious man dressed in black, lurking somewhere in the neighborhood. The officer's words sent a chill down my spine, and I could feel the tension rising among the grown-ups. As the police car drove away, I couldn't shake off the uneasy feeling that had settled in my stomach. That's when I saw it, a pair of eyes, watching us from behind a poplar tree across the street. I pointed it out to my uncle, but as soon as I did, the figure vanished into thin air. The atmosphere at my birthday party had shifted from cheerful to tense in a matter of minutes. I knew something was off, and I couldn't help but feel that our celebration had been frozen in time by the presence of the stranger behind the poplar tree. We rushed inside, the joy of my birthday party replaced by a gnawing fear. Everyone ate quickly, barely tasting the food, as an indescribable sense of dread hung in the air. The party ended abruptly, and most of the guests slipped away through the back alley, eager to avoid the main road and whatever danger might be lurking there. Inside our house, I sat with my mom and brother, our eyes fixed on the large windows that faced the street. The setting sun cast an eerie glow, making everything seem more ominous. My dad was out in the yard, on the phone with a friend, when suddenly he froze. I saw his eyes widen as he spotted a shadow among the birch trees across the street. Without hesitation, he snapped a picture and texted it to the police. The tension inside our home skyrocketed. We were all on edge, waiting for any sign of the mysterious man in black. The whispers of the wind outside seemed to carry a warning, and I couldn't shake the feeling that our lives were about to change forever. The dim light of early evening filled our front hall, casting long shadows that made everything feel even more unsettling. Curiosity got the better of me. I couldn't stop thinking about the man hiding among the birch trees. I thought that if I opened the window I could see what was out there without being seen myself. It was a naive thought, but I was just an 11-year-old girl. While my mom, dad, and brother were busy discussing the photo my dad had taken, I found myself alone. My heart pounded as I tiptoed to the front door. I slowly turned the handle and peeked outside, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious figure. To my horror, the man in black immediately spotted me and rushed towards our house. As he ran, I saw him pull something shiny out of his pocket. Panic gripped me, and I froze, unable to scream or move. Just as he reached our stairs, a loud dog bark from next door shattered the tense silence. It startled him, and in that split second, my brother appeared out of nowhere. He wrestled me away from the door, breaking me out of my frozen state, and slammed the window shut. The sound of the window closing was like a lifeline pulling me back to safety, but the fear lingered, haunting me with what could have happened. The chaos outside our house was overwhelming. Police car lights swept across the neighborhood, casting eerie shadows everywhere. It felt like a scene from a movie, but this was all too real. The police arrived just minutes after my dad sent them the photo. They moved quickly, determined to catch the man in black. I watched from the safety of our home as the officers chased him through our backyard. A jolt of fear surged through me when I spotted him slipping behind the deserted warehouse. But it was no use. The police were right on his heels. They cornered him, and finally, they caught him. When they searched him, they found scissors in his hand. Not a gun, but knowing it was scissors didn't make me feel any less terrified. I felt a cold sweat break out as the possibilities of his cruelty played in my mind. Later, police have revealed horrifying facts about this man. He had broken into 2 homes earlier that day, both with children inside. This confirmed our worst fears. He was part of a dangerous child kidnapping ring. The realization that he had been so close to me, to my family, made the terror I felt even more real. We had narrowly escaped a nightmare, but the shadow of that day would linger in my mind for a long time. It's been a week since that terrifying day, but the fear still lingers. Lying in my bed late at night, I struggle to sleep. Every creak in the house sends my heart racing, reminding me of that disgusting man. I can't shake the image of him rushing towards me, the scissors glinting in his hand. I keep replaying the moment in my mind, the moment my life almost changed forever. I see my brother's face as he wrestled me away from the door, breaking me out of my frozen state. His quick thinking saved me, but the memory of being so close to danger haunts me. My mom noticed how much I was struggling. She left a note on my nightstand that read, "Being brave doesn't mean not being afraid." Reading those words helped a bit. It made me feel like it was okay to be scared, that bravery wasn't about never feeling fear, but about facing it. Still, the obsession with that man lingers. Every time I hear a door locking, I'm reminded of how close he got to me. It's going to take time, but I know I'll get through this. The big girl in me is determined to overcome the fear and move forward one night at a time.